Adobe recently released Adobe Captivate 13.1, and I want to show you one of the more compelling features of that update, and that's upgrading Adobe Captivate Classic projects. Now, this is only going to be relevant for you if you've used Adobe Captivate Classic prior to making the decision to go to Captivate 13. Previous to Captivate 13.1, there was not an upgrade process. So if you had Captivate 13.1 and you had Captivate Classic projects, that's Captivate 11.x, you had to rebuild the projects, and that's not optimum. So 13.1 is going to let you bring those Captivate Classic projects into Captivate, but you're going to have some work to do, and I want to show you the kind of things to look for when you upgrade the project. So the project you see right now is Captivate Classic. So if you're a Captivate user and you're like, what is going on with my interface, and you've never seen Classic, this is what it looked like before Captivate 13 came out. Pretty similar at this point to Captivate 13.1. I want to show you, first of all, that the project has slides with audio, and it's got this little avatar here, just an image showing different gestures. And slide number 4 has click boxes on them. And if I move the click box off to my desktop here, and it's going to allow for interactivity for these answers. So the interviewer is asking some questions, and depending on what you as the learner clicks, you've got a branching scenario. I'll put this click box back. And over on my properties inspector, this would be the same as visual properties for those of you really comfortable with Captivate 13. You can see that on success, the learner is jumping to slide 5, which is over here. I'm going to preview the project so you can see the interactions.
So you've landed the interview. Now you're wondering how to land the job. An effective interview is crucial, and you'll need to prepare thoroughly to maximize your probability of winning an offer. In this course, Acing the Interview, I'll step you through the essentials of effective interviewing, including how to research, practice, and even use body language to get the job. Hi, I'm Donna Jones, your interview expert and mentor. Today I'll be coaching you as you practice your interviewing skills. Let's get started. I'm going to ask you how you handle some common but crucial interview situations and then provide feedback.
Okay, so notice over on the right, you've got some text telling the learner what the question is. Over on the left, you've got the answers, and as a reminder, these are all controlled by click boxes. And if I click this one,
Response 1 is incorrect because you're pretending to understand the question and your guess may be off by a mile. Click the Continue button to try again.
all right, so I'll click Continue, and I get a chance to answer the question again. What I'm looking to see when I take this project into the new Captivate is, do the click boxes get retained? What happens with the text? Does my what could be interpreted as complex branching scenario interactions, do those get retained? Because if they don't, you have to rebuild them in the new Captivate. I'll close the browser. I'll exit out of Captivate. And I'll switch to the new Captivate. And what they've added here in Captivate 13.1 is this import drop-down menu. And I'm going to import the Captivate Classic project. And just note, it does say beta. Beta means they're still working on it. I'll click it. I'll click Continue. I'm going to find that project which I have on my desktop. And after a few minutes, the project is upgraded to the new Captivate. And I was pleasantly surprised I didn't see a bunch of error messages. The slides generally do look the way they looked in Captivate Classic. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the slide a little bit better. And as I move from slide to slide, so far this is looking really good. I'm super impressed. But issues start to appear on slide number 4. First, I see my text. There's no click box. That kind of leads me to believe there's not going to be any interactivity. Let me put that text back. I'm going to preview just to see what's good, what's bad. So I'm going to go back up to slide number 1 and I'll preview the entire project.
So you've landed the interview. Now you're wondering how to land the job. An effective interview is crucial, and you'll need to prepare thoroughly to maximize your probability of winning an offer. In this course, Acing the Interview, I'll step you through the essentials of effective interviewing, including how to research, practice, and even use body language to get the job.
So a couple of issues I'm seeing here. That text doesn't look right. Been cut off at the bottom. It looked fine when I was looking at the slide itself, but now that I'm previewing, it doesn't look good. And I've got a little issue here with the interactivity. If I click on the answers, nothing happens. So I'll show you how to resolve both of these issues by modifying a preset for the text, and we'll put the hotspots in again. I'll go ahead and switch back to the Captivate project. The first thing I'm going to tackle is that font issue. So I'm still on this slide number 4. I'm going to go to my visual properties up here. And I see straight away the font is Trebuchet. All right, not my favorite font. Call me crazy. I'm going to switch to Verdana. Verdana is a real good screen font. Arial would be fine too. If you're worried about that font size being a little bit too big, you can crank that down. 16 pixels seems okay to me. What I'm going to do here is the box is using a preset called Body 2. I'm not going to bother switching it to Body 1. I'd have to do that across all my slides. That's going to take too much time and cost thousands of lives. I'm just going to click this icon right here to update the preset. And that change now is universal anywhere that Body 2 is being used. It's going to use Verdana 16 pixels. And let's just see if this has solved the problem of the font. Let me preview. It looks as if the font issue has been repaired quite nicely. Now let's take care of the interactivity with this text. And I will click it just so you can see it's not going anywhere. I'm going to close the preview. And I want to be clear about the potential problem here. The reason this may not have worked when the project was upgraded from Classic to this new version of Captivate, the way that text and the interactivity was built in Classic, there was the text, and on top there was a click box. And during the translation, Captivate had a little bit of trouble understanding there was a click box there and text beneath it. Well, I'm going to make the whole text block interactive. Because if I go to slide number 5, this button right here, the continue button to take me backward, if I go to my interactions tool here at the right of the screen, that interactivity is working and was retained when the project was upgraded. I didn't fix this behind your back. So I'm going to go back to slide number 4. I'm going to select this text block. I'm going to go over here to my interactions and I'm going to click add an interaction. It would have been lovely if it said there already was an interaction and maybe I just need to fix it or it was retained, but of course the click box is gone. So I'll add an interaction. On click or tap, I want to go to slide and I'm going to pick specifically slide number 5. I'll click done. And now I'll preview. Again, the font should be fixed. The interactivity should be back. Click take a best guess.
Response 1 is incorrect because you're pretending to understand the question and your guess may be off by a mile. Click the Continue button to try again.
Click continue. On your own, you could repair the rest of these interactive boxes. I'm not going to, but that gives you an idea. And as Captivate continues to get improved, I expect with version 3.2, 3.3, they're going to continue to work on this and address any lingering issues reported by other developers just like you. So if you have Adobe Captivate projects and you're porting them or upgrading them to the new Captivate, think about reporting your experiences with Adobe so they can make this tool better for all of us.